Mayor Pete was on a 2-month paternity, whatever the heck you want to call it, leave. The guy was gone, okay? The guy was not working. Because why? He was trying to figure out how to chest feed. Maybe someone should tell him, please, so he can get back to work. Listen, I'm a mother of 4. I delivered one of my children in the front seat of my truck because as a mom of 4, we got things to do. Ain't nobody got time for 2.5 months of maternity leave. We have a world to save here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the deplorable Congresswoman from Colorado, Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert is a habitual liar and a career criminal who married a sex offender, and the two of them poisoned several dozen people. Soon after the Boeberts opened their restaurant, a man who was in a fight in another part of Rifle wandered over to down the block from shooters and died of a meth overdose. So Lauren told everyone the man had been beat to death by another man's hands, and that it happened outside the restaurant, which is partially true in that the entire world is outside her restaurant. But it didn't matter to Boebert that the story was a complete fabrication where she profited off someone else's death, because Lauren Boebert will never miss an opportunity to take an opportunity.
She and many others in the Trump orbit will eat their words with comedian Steve Hofstetter doing the spoon feeding.
January 6th of 2021, you had tens of thousands of people peacefully protesting, and yet the corporate media and Democrats slander them with the made-up term insurrectionist. And yet, in this instance, they are not willing to call off their goons even now.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who somehow keeps winning, is one of the worst bad faith actors as an elected representative. Don't believe me?
But even if you are one of the dummies that does agree with originalism, Ted Cruz is only an originalist when he has something to gain from it. Cruz was opposed to appointing a Supreme Court justice in the last year of her presidency, until he wasn't. Cruz was all for the ability to impeach a president, until he wasn't. Cruz was vehemently opposed to Donald Trump, until he wasn't. Cruz was against federal aid for disaster relief, until he wasn't. Cruz was opposed to a president taking military action in Syria, until he wasn't, and then until he was again.
Hofstetter has the notes to prove it.
Matt Gaetz selected as the Attorney General. One of the things that the former president has said is that he will end the partisan weaponization of the justice system. You see him there on your screen.
Former Congressman Matt Gaetz announced in a post on X he is withdrawing himself from consideration to be President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Attorney General.
With this pick dead on arrival, it's time to revisit.
Matt Gaetz is the son of a politician who was the son of a politician. Matt Gaetz is so entrenched in the swamp that he was born in one. Before Gaetz ran for office, he got a DUI. But due to his political connections, the charges were tossed. It's unfair to say that Matt Gaetz is District 1 as a person. If District 1 had sex with Pensacola Spring Break, that would be Matt Gaetz. There's another thing that makes this particularly believable. In 2017, the House voted on a bill against human trafficking. And in a rare nonpartisan vote, every Democrat and every Republican voted for the bill, except Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz was the one congressman who voted against a bill that would try to end human trafficking. What reason could he possibly have? We are learning more about Gaetz, like the blanket pardon he allegedly asked for from Donald Trump, and that Gaetz has been accused of showing nude photos of women he had sex with on the House floor. Remember Gaetz's vote against the revenge porn bill? So do I. Now you might say we shouldn't believe any of this because this is clearly a partisan investigation. And you could say that if you're stupid and don't know things. While this investigation became public recently, it began last year under former President Donald Trump's Department of Justice. As this investigation goes forward, there are many questions to answer. Did Matt Gaetz have sex with a minor? Was the money that Matt Gaetz sent to that minor via Apple Pay, Cash App, and Venmo for sex? Was that money for traveling across state lines to have sex? Where did the giant amount of money that he donated to his own campaign come from?
Ultimately, it came down to Trump testing the waters and hoping for blind loyalty. It did not happen with the AG pick.
It's a man. She was born a man. She's a man. She's biologically a male. That is science. You guys on the left and the mainstream media want to say, follow the science. Well, let's follow the science, okay? He is a man. He can wear a dress. He can call himself, his pronouns can be she or her, but he doesn't belong in a women's restroom, period.
Are you suggesting that the Representative-elect McBride poses some kind of danger to you and other women?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. This is an assault on women. A man being a biological man, a man with a penis, male genitalia, being in a women's locker room is an assault on women. And so the question is, do I have rights as a woman or not? And I'm not going to allow the media or Congress to strip away women's rights for 0.5% of people out there that more than likely he's got a mental illness, and this is why he's doing this. He should not be forcing his private parts into women's private spaces. I'm absolutely a no, hard pass on this. I'm going to fight it every step of the way.
To be clear, this is a non-issue. The biggest threat, if Mace cared about women, are her colleagues like Matt Gaetz, or even her dear leader, Donald Trump.
Transgender man, I was born female. First, I just want to say thank you for defending the trans community. Conservatives like to die on hills that nobody's standing. Like, men can't get pregnant. We didn't say they could. Trans men can get pregnant. You may disagree there, men. What's your favorite hill that they die on?
Capital.
So the question is, like, the thing that they argue against that no one's saying. I think my favorite one is that they say that gun control isn't going to stop all mass shootings. And we're like, yeah, just going to stop some of them. And that is a good thing. I hope.
Well played here from Hofstetter.
Now we know that he is going to choose Mehmet Oz as the head of Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Now, a couple things to note about Dr. Oz. In addition to being a television doctor, he also is somebody that Donald Trump put up for Senate in 2022 in Pennsylvania and lost. He was very unhappy with Dr. Oz at that point, but obviously they have cleared the air since then, since he is naming him as part of his administration.
It just continues to get worse, doesn't it? After losing his race in the state of Pennsylvania, where he allegedly used a family member's address to run, Oz is in Trump's cabinet, proving the worst people in the world continue getting rewarded.
Dr. Oz is actually a doctor, a former cardiothoracic surgeon. That's the specialty of the heart and lungs, one of which I think he has. And despite Oz's attempt to appeal to rural Pennsylvania as a man of the people, he is very much not. Oz was a publicity-seeking fraud from the moment he got on his glider. During the 1996 World Series, fortune favored Mehmet Oz. Frank Torre, brother of then Yankees manager Joe Torre, needed heart surgery. The surgery was successful. So when the Yankees came back and won the World Series, Mehmet Oz got a ton of publicity, while the other doctors involved in the procedure did not court the media. Hospital administrators, his fellow doctors, and even the co-founder of Oz's Alternative Medicine Center all complained that Oz's love of attention was getting in the way of their work. His co-founder even went as far as to tell him to, quote, stop the media circus. But you can't tell a TV doctor to stop being a TV doctor. A need for publicity is what makes Mehmet Oz who he is. Well, publicity and pushing fraudulent claims in exchange for money. In 2015, more than 1,300 doctors demanded that Columbia remove him from the faculty. Why? For what they called disdain for science and evidence-based medicine. While Columbia didn't fire him, Oz is no longer a professor and no longer sees patients. That's right. The medical industry, just like rational voters, has no patience for him.
Zinger from Hofstetter once more. Look, Steve Hofstetter is a brilliant comedian who you should be watching and following. Check him out on YouTube and sub to his channel. Honestly, it'd be awesome if we could help get him to 1 million. For more online content, check out his Instagram under his name. Ditto for Facebook, where he has over 861,000 followers, and on TikTok, where he can be found at The Hofstetter.